up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Benfica versus Barcelona in the first leg, round 16 in the Champions League. The biggest competition in club football is back for Barcelona after not having to play a qualifier game. Thank God for that. And we're here in the round 16 against Benfica. Thank God. Grace Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not PSG, it is Benfica again that we've already played this season in the Champions League, and it is a knockout phase where we are expected to go through. But firstly, we have to survive the away leg in Portugal, which won't be easy. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so regular kickoff time in the Champions League. And this match will be taking place at the Da Luz Stadium in Portugal, which of course is the home of Benfica. Again, a stadium where we've already played a huge UCL game this season that needed, of course, a massive remontada, and the referee for this match has also been confirmed. It will be the German duo for Barcelona. It will be Felix Zayer on the pitch and Bastian Danker on the VAR. Now, of course, this is the first leg of the Champions League round of 16. You can see, of course, the full matches on the screen right now. Of course, Barcelona will be playing the winner of Dortmund and Lille. Of course, if we do end up qualifying, maybe keep one eye on that matchup as well. We also have the big Madrid game. We have the PSG Liverpool game. Of course, the right-hand side is kind of the bracket where we have to focus. Left-hand side, we'll let them all battle it out and see who really makes it, of course, depending on how far we go. But yet another favorable tie here for Barcelona in the whole entire round 16, and hopefully inshallah we can take advantage of that. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Benfica, of course the biggest and most successful team in Portugal in Liga NOS as well. They're having a decent season. I believe they already won the Super Cup for the Portuguese league. They're currently tied on points with Sporting Lisbon at the top of Liga NOS as well, and over the past few months they've been doing quite well. And if we take a look at the last time we faced them in the Champions League, it was of course earlier on in the year, I believe in January. 5-4 win for Barcelona, an absolutely insane game filled with mistakes from both goalkeepers that pretty much dictated the tempo of this match. But Barcelona got the 3 points in the end with a 95th minute winner from captain Raphinha. It was an absolutely crazy game, a game where you probably would say should have ended 3-1 in the favor of Barcelona if everything went correctly with no individual mistakes and stuff like that. Of course, we did have 2 penalties in this game. The striker for Benfica, Pavelodes, scored a hat-trick, so it was quite of a crazy evening in Sporting. But now Barcelona players are used to it. They've already played this game already this season, and they come out with the win, but they know how difficult it can be. Now, if you take a look at Benfica's last 6 matches in all competition, in their last match they beat Braga 1-0 in the quarterfinals of the Portugal Cup, which again they played last Wednesday. They're coming into this match with 1 week full of rest. They beat Bostiva 3-0. They drew 3-3 with Monaco in the qualifying match for the knockout tournament in the Champions League. They beat Santa Clara 1-0. They also beat Monaco 1-0 in the first leg away in France, and they beat another team in the Portuguese League 3-2. So they haven't lost a game in quite some time now, but again, that 4-3 aggregate win against Monaco to qualify for this position is the reason why they're here today. So let's take a look at the last 3 games in all competition. Firstly is that huge 3-3 draw, and I did end up watching this game quite end to end. It was, I would say, both I would say it's 2 even teams really going at it. I would say they're both pretty much at a very similar level to each other, and to be fair, I think it's another example of both goalkeepers having a poor game. There are too many goals in this game, of course, for the standard of you expect a game like this to go, but I would say that Benfica were very strong on the counterattack, although they were very weak on the counterattack of Monaco as well. So a very even game, and again, I think it was the striker, again the Greek striker for Benfica, that got the goal later on to end up again the 3-3 draw. A bit unlucky for Monaco, and they were a 2-1 up or 2-0 up. I think they had a 2-goal cushion at some point, but in the end Benfica, they persuaded strongly at home, and they got the draw they needed after, of course, that big win in France. Next up is their 3-0 win against Santa Clara in Liga NOS. And this is where we've seen a switch for the first time from Bruno Lage, the Benfica manager, where he's gone down to a back three in recent days. Is this before Barcelona? I have no idea, but they've quite adapted to the system. Again, it is a rotated side here that you can see on the screen with the lineup, and again a comfortable win as you do expect them. And they're not playing Sporting Lisbon or Porto. It should be 9.9 out of 10, an easy win for them, and that's what it was in this game. 5 match, of course, in all competition was that cup game where they did nearly win 1-0 against Braga. Again, a stronger lineup, but again the 3 at the back system, which is coming at quite a surprise. I wouldn't say Barcelona are weak against 3 at the back systems. Probably would be a bit maybe better against them, but it's quite interesting that he's trying this, especially recently before the big tie in the Champions League. But again, wasn't comfortable this game. Braga are actually a decent side. I mentioned Porto and Sporting, but Braga are decent, so we'll let this one slide as well. But a narrow 1-0 win for them at home, big result for them in the cup as well. But also a line that was fully used but heavily rested over the past week. Now on the screen right now is the line that I believe that Bruno Lage will select for this match, a predicted XI for Benfica. I think they will pick the very similar lineup to what they did in their 3-3 draw with Monaco. Maybe they can change the shape a little bit, maybe have Araujo the right back tuck inside and Alvaro more so as a wing back to create that 3-4-3. But I think in terms of personnel, it will be very similar. We could maybe see Bruma out wide on the left. That could also be a big effect. But I also want to highlight very quickly, look at the players that are on yellow card suspensions. You have Otamendi, huge player for Benfica. Alvaro, huge player for them as well. Cuckoo, huge player for them in the midfield, probably one of their best players. Get these players booked, that way they can be suspended for the second leg. Would be a massive advantage for Barcelona, so hopefully we can keep that in mind. They have 3 big players on 1 yellow card away from suspension. If we can at least get 1 or 2 of them, hopefully all 3, that'll be a perfect win. But a lineup like this is what I do expect. This tends to be what they are strongest team for their selections over the course of this season. So overall, final thoughts on Benfica. I would say they're a fairly good team. They're managed by Bruno Lage, who of course had some unsuccessful stints in the Premier League, and I believe had a decent stint in Portugal before that move to Wolves. But he's a very good manager. He knows what he's doing. I wouldn't say he's tactically inept or whatever the case may be, but a manager that can definitely get good use out of his team. Now in terms of players to look out for, of course I already hinted at a few already. There are 1 yellow card suspension: Otamendi, Alvaro, Cuco. You have of course the right back Araujo, who's quite decent. The front line, of course, the Greek striker Papadopoulos, who scored a hat-trick against us. The Turkish wing on the right-hand side, I forget what his name was. We played him back in the day when he was at Galatasaray. Very, very dangerous winger. But there is some positive sides to Barcelona. 2 of Benfica's big players will be missing this game, and those are Angel Di Maria and Florentino Luis. 2 players that are definitely starters for them are out for this game due to injury. And they may be back for the second leg next week, but for this game, they are ruled out. So a huge miss for the Benfica on the left wing, and a huge miss for them in the midfield, which again hopefully we can exploit in this match. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list of this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows: Cubarsi, Balde, Araujo, Inigo, Gavi, Ferran, Pedri, Lewandowski, Ansu Fati, Raphinha, Inaki Peña, Paula Torre, Fermin, Casado, Victor, Yamal, Omo, De Jong, Kounde, Eric, Chesney, Cochin, Fort, and Gerard Martin. So you're looking at this, not too many surprises. Of course, Ansu Fati being included is a big thing, but there are reasons for that. Firstly, of course, I mean, I'm beginning to run out of words for this man. I can't really hate him. Such a great guy, such a good player as well. But my God, injured again. He gets the medical green light, and the next training session for the 3rd time this season gets injured. I cannot be asked. Out for another month. Probably will return after the international break. It's honestly embarrassing for Christensen. I don't know what he's doing in training. I don't know if they're 2-foot tackling him. I don't know what is going on, but the fact that he's now gotten the medical clearance twice and got injured in the next training session and out for a month is nothing short of an absolute disgrace. As still this summer is inevitable. Love the guy, great player, but there's no way. You're already injured for the first half of the season. You've come back, and I said when he came back, what did I say? If he gets injured again for at least a month, he's cooked. Done it twice. Get him gone. We do have also an injury update on Gavi, who did not train in yesterday's training session. Tony Martin came out saying that Gavi isn't down for the first leg of the Benfica match. He didn't train yesterday due to a fever, which of course Hansi Flick confirmed that he wanted to play him against Sociedad, but he didn't play because he had a fever. Now the question is, will Gavi recover in time to, of course, make the trip to Lisbon, which, of course, as you can see from the squad list, he has made the trip. But again, how he feels will depend on how he plays. We are hearing that he wants to play, but again, the main decision will come down to Flick, so we'll see. But again, he is fit on paper, but whether he's fit to start the game or whatever remains to be seen. Let's now get into the press conference reaction of Pau Cubarsi. As we all know, in cup competitions, a player always becomes a manager in the press conference, and today Pau Cubarsi was selected. Let's see what he had to say this afternoon in the presser. Came out for saying that we have to try to minimize the chances that we concede and do what we need to do in previous phases when it comes to scoring goals. Play with La Masia players, sharing the dressing room with La Masia players makes everything easier. There's a mix of experience and youth that makes us do something magnificent. The fact that Barcelona supports La Masia is a source of pride. I'm playing with Inigo, saying yes, I've shared a lot of almost the entire season with Inigo, but with Ronald and Eric, I still feel comfortable with them as well. It is a very contested position, and we're all giving it our best. Win the Champions League, it's been a dream. I've been dreaming about it since I was a little kid. It's something that I want to achieve, and now it's time to enjoy the moment and try to do well. On room for improvement since my debut, which was a magical night. I have improved a lot in all aspects. Now I'm better with how the matches go on, and you have to focus on each match individually. On the scoreboard management, you have to know how to play the games. Against Atleti in the club, we were unlucky to concede 2 goals at the end. Here there is a return match, so we had to give everything from the start. Every year Barca has to compete for everything. We are the best team in the world. For me this year, they say that we are on a better path, but I don't see it on that way. We have to take it game by game. On the offside trap with Araujo, he was asked who communicates the offside trap when Inigo's not there, because we don't think it's you. He said, look, it doesn't change. Whoever goes down the field must know what to do, and we have to focus on doing that well. On Benfica, they had a great first half. In the other game, we were able to turn it around, but we have to be more focused this time from the start. And finally, he was asked on the good version of Barcelona, and the key part of the season is beginning when the titles are at stake. We want to continue in this good dynamic. And that concluded Cubarsi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Benfica tomorrow. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Hansi Flick, who of course spoke immediately after Pau Cubarsi this afternoon in Portugal. And let's get to see what he had to say in the presser. He firstly came out asking about Gavi's injury, saying that what's up with Gavi, play yes or no. He said, look, we'll see. He didn't train yesterday because he wasn't feeling too well, fever wise, and no actual injury, just a bit of a sickness. The doctor will see him later on today and make the decision. He then asked on thinking about the return leg or just the outward journey, saying, look, we have to think about that there will be a second leg. Obviously, we are facing one of the best teams in the tournament. They play very well, and we have to play better than them on if it will be a similar game to what we saw in the first game in January. And look, they have their own way of playing, and we have ours. Tomorrow we will see what happens. I hope to see a better dynamic than in the first visit, but it will be a difficult game. Then asked on Lewandowski, and that's always good to have a striker who scores so many goals for the team, to give him that opportunity. It's a collective mission. That's the key. We have to continue like this, and we have like this for the past 2 months. Then asked on Neymar's return, and look, it's not my job. I'm very focused on the team right now in the season. You have to be focused. It's the job of other people in the club like Deco and Laporta, not mine. So bit of a weird question that should chuck in a Neymar rumor in there. Then asked on Olmo and Gavi what he sees as the 10 in both positions, who's better and what gives you what. He said, look, Gavi can play in different positions. He presses and gives us a defensive attitude. He plays well with the ball. Olmo enjoys being in that position. He scores goals and creates chances. Also talked about how Gavi isn't a natural 10. He mainly plays Gavi there for his all-round game, which again, he will suffice the attacking prowess for overall balance. That's what he was mentioning as well. Then asked on Casado, Joel Martin scoring their goals, and everyone kissing the badge when they scored the goals for Barcelona. And look, it's fantastic. They showed me a photo of players celebrating the goals, and I like it. They're grateful for La Masia's education, and they show it on that way on the pitch. Favorites being winning the Champions League. Look, I always think about the next game, and it's Benfica. I don't think it's good to talk about that, to go beyond it. We start 0-0. We have to give everything in every game. Our rivals also want to beat us. Finally, he was asked on his 11. This is the most blunt question I've ever seen in my life. The reporter literally asked him, what's your starting 11? What are you thinking? What formation are you going to play? And if you have any dilemmas, what are your dilemmas for the selection of the lineup? And he said, look, I'm not going to give you any clues. I sometimes do that, but I'm not going to do it today, especially in a Champions League game. Very, very weird question. But that concluded Flick's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Benfica tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best to predict his lineup. I think it will be, of course, fairly easy to predict, barring 1 to 2 changes at the absolute max. I think that Hansi Flick will select this lineup on the screen right now with Szczesny in goal, a back four of Kounde, Cubarsi, Inigo Martinez, and Alejandro Balde, midfield 3 of De Jong, Pedri, and Olmo, front 3 of Lemon Yamal, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. The back five, the front three is guaranteed. Of course, where Flick could make changes is that midfield. Will he start the Casado? Will he go with Frankie? Will he go with Olmo or Gavi? I think due to recent affairs, he will pick De Jong ahead of Casado. I think he will pick Olmo ahead of Gavi simply because Gavi has maybe a bit of a fever. Of course, did not train yesterday. We'll wait and see if he trains later on today, which he probably will be doing that. But I think if Gavi was fit, he would have started Gavi. But I think with him having a bit of a question mark around him, I think he will go with Dani Olmo. Apart from that, the team is select itself. Again, the back five, front three, guaranteed. Pedri in the midfield as well, guaranteed. So you're looking at either who's going to be playing beside Pedri and who's going to be playing ahead of Pedri. I think he will go with Olmo and De Jong. This is not nothing Hansi Flick will select for this match, but of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup. What I would do if I was the Barcelona coach. I have, of course, made one change from Flick's lineup. You guessed it, I have of course brought in Casado in the midfield ahead of Frankie, not based on me dropping Frankie or he's not fit or blah blah blah. I just think Casado is better suited for this game. Also, seeing Raphinha lead the team out as the captain in the Champions League is a different vibe. So that played like 2% in my decision. But I just think having a midfield destroyer, winning the balls back, stopping counterattacks over the course of 2 legs will be vital. I definitely start Frankie in the home game. Definitely starting Frankie this weekend against Osasuna. But in this case specifically, I think it's tailor-made to have a player like Casado. Also gives more freedom for Pedri to be creative in that final third. And of course, let Olmo cook, run back and counter and help defensively when needed. I just think Casado is a better fit for this game specifically than Frankie De Jong. Of course, the rest of the team picks itself. And this is the line that I was left for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you're going to pick my lineup or Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I think that Barcelona will get the result. I have gone Barcelona winning this game by 3-1. I think it will be not a tight affair, but one to keep an eye upon. For me, for this tie to end the first leg, we have to win like by 3 or 4 goals. So a 4-1 win, 4-0, 5-1, 5-0. That for me, or maybe even 3-0. That for me is like, yep, the game's over. I think that Benfica will get the goal on against everyone to play. Whether we're up, I think we're going to be up by the time Benfica do score. Maybe at 1, they bring it back to 1-1, or bring it to 2-1, maybe bring it to 3-1. I really do hope we can be a clean sheet. I think if we can be a clean sheet in this game, I think the tie could definitely end in this game. But of course, we are relying on the creativity and the firepower of Barcelona. We're scoring goals recently, which is good. Benfica defensively have vulnerabilities to them. They're missing, of course, their best DM. Their attack as well as missing their best left winger, but we cannot forget they did score 4 goals against us in the last game. You could say 2 of them were Szczesny mistakes, but again, the goals were put in the back of the net, so you have to be cautious of that. But I think that Barcelona will win this game. I have gone Barcelona win this game by 3-1. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that's a match preview for Benfica versus Barcelona in the Champions League round 16 first leg. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to know firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Flick's lineup? What do you think Flick will go with? What would you go with if you're the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me, follow after the match by my match review. So see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead, nothing but the win. Take care and Forza Barca. Go, 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 go.